everything we do is based on data. But as salon owners are so busy cutting hair and styling hair and doing colour transformations, it's next or near impossible that they even have a clue what we even do. So our goal as an agency is to make it very, very easy for our salon owners to understand what we're doing, because you'd be surprised that most of our salon owners, they don't check their email regularly like most business owners. They are better on text, and they aren't as tech savvy as most of our business owners because they don't spend time on computers, they spend time serving their clients. Welcome to Diary of the Search Queen, the go-to podcast for salon owners ready to ditch the algorithm and get found by their dream clients on Google. I'm Sonja Raymond, aka Sonja the Search Queen, founder of the Search Republic. And after helping salons generate millions in client bookings, I'm here to show you how to create a reliable, low-stress lead flow without living on your phone. Ready to stop chasing and start filling chairs with ease? Let's go. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Diary of the Search Queen. This week's episode is the 90-day Google growth plan for salon owners. So what I want to speak to specifically comprises of 3 different phases, which is your foundation, your activation and your expansion. So I'm going to talk you through to that. But what I want to first start with is, if you've been meaning to get your Google sorted with your salon, then this episode is completely for you, because this is exact roadmap to show you how to do just that. So I often hear from salon owners, I have no idea where to start with Google, but today is all about helping you be very much empowered when it comes to what to do when it comes to Google. Now, when we're talking about the 3 different approaches, there is no point launching ads to a website that is not set up to convert. Now, what we want to do is making sure that all of our foundational elements within our business is completely transparent to your online user. So when I speak about foundational elements, I'm talking about your Google business profile, making sure all of the information is up to date and that you're giving Google exactly what it wants. You're actively getting regular reviews, so it's up to date and it's consistent, and Google is seeing that, oh my God, people are having an amazing experience on this website, they must be amazing. And then also it's looking about, when my ideal client comes on the website, is my website a website that I'm proud of? Now, we are our own worst critic. I have seen dogs' dinners of websites, and I have seen websites that are sexy but don't convert. You'd be surprised that even websites that aren't that great, when you make the few little tweaks that we recommend before we switch ads on, it changes the game completely. So when I speak about the changes, we're speaking specifically about the conversion tracking metrics. We want to make sure we're tracking phone calls, email inquiries, booking forms, all of those sorts of things. But if there is no functionality within the website in order to do that, well, then we're not setting ourselves up for success, and we don't want to be doing that. So we want to make sure all the foundational elements are all up to date before we even consider doing paid ads, because I get asked by so many salon owners, what is the best approach in order to get my salon on Google? They think it's Google Business Profile, but it's absolutely not just Google Business Profile. It's a combination of a few factors. But specifically, if you need more bums on seats, Google Ads is the way to do that for you. And then after that, if you have more spend and you have more marketing budget, because we've made you so much more revenue because of the ads that we're running, then we can look at really ramping things up by adding SEO to the piece. But first and foremost, start with your Google Business Profile and your website, making sure everything's up to date and it's something that you're proud of, that reflects your brand. Now, next part of that would be the activation phase, which is basically launching your local ads, targeting your ideal clients within your local area. So you can start with a very, very small targeted campaign if you wish. It depends on where you're at with your salon owner journey. If you're turning over like 5 to 10 grand a week, which works out between 20 or 40 grand a month, I'd be suggesting that you just start with a very basic Google Ads campaign. A very small campaign initially to just get more bums on seats, and as the salon scales, then you can add all the bells and whistles with all the different campaigns. But to get it off the ground and generate some revenue, you'll be starting with a search only campaign. The thing is, if you can figure out exactly where your clients come from and how far they're willing to travel, then you can actually target people within that radius, so you can get more of your similar clients that already come to you because they're in that local area. And we can link the ads then to the Google Maps listing to make sure you're showing up in the map section as well, the map pack, that when people are searching in that area, or they may not even be specifically in close proximity to your salon, they could be 10 to 15 Ks away, but your competitor is in that area, you could actually surpass your competitor because your ads are linked to the specific area that you want to target. So it's a very, very clever way to actually strategize and get more clients through your doors and more bums on seats. Now, the one thing about ads, and this is something that is so underutilized, is looking at the right things to actually track. So when it comes to salons, we measure actual appointments booked into the calendar, and we actually have a live dashboard. Data is king. This is not based on emotion at all. It's based on data. Everything we do is based on data. But as salon owners are so busy cutting hair and styling hair and doing color transformations, it's next or near impossible that they even have a clue what we even do. So our goal as an agency is to make it very, very easy for our salon owners to understand what we're doing, because you'd be surprised that most of our salon owners, they don't check their email regularly like most business owners. They are better on text, and they aren't as tech savvy as most of our business owners because they don't spend time on computers. They spend time serving their clients. So it is one of those things that we educate our salon owners. We hold their hand. We don't make them feel stupid or anything like that, because the amount of salon owners that come to me like, I feel so stupid, like, no, you're just amazing at your craft. And that's where your energy should always be placed, on what your craft is. They just outsource to people like us that actually understand what we're talking about, but we can also bridge the gap with how much we know and actually educate them in a language that they understand. But the things, just to come back to the stuff that we need to track, these phone calls, email inquiries, form fills, and with all of that data, we can actually optimize a campaign for a better result based on what kind of nature of inquiries are coming through. So it's really, really important to think about those 3 stages when you're thinking about, I want to really knuckle down and get my Google game off the ground. You really, really need to look at the foundational elements like I just discussed, which is website, Google Business Profile, then the activation of the ads, making sure that you can launch the ads in the local area, figure out your radius, and then to wrap that up is the expansion. So measure the results, refine and scale from there, because the data is what gives you the information, but you also need to understand what the data means, and most salon owners don't, so you actually need somebody to educate you in that space. But we need to just be very, very focused on consistency and showing up and doing what Google wants us to do, because when we do, Google rewards us by us paying less cost per click. They love us. They show us to more of our ideal client. We have more clients coming through the door and everyone's happy. So I really want you to commit to really knuckling down and committing to your 90 days of action and help you scale your salon. And if you can't do that on your own, you know where we are. We're more than happy to help you. We are a salon owner specific agency that's dedicated to helping salons scale at length. And we've done so for so many clients across Australia and New Zealand. You can spend another year hoping word of mouth will grow your salon, which we absolutely know it won't. Or you can make the next 90 days your Google growth era. It's up to you. But thank you so much for tuning in today. It was so lovely to have you on listening to this episode. If today's episode spoke to your salon soul, then hit subscribe so you don't miss the next round of strategy and support. For more help filling your books without the burnout, then check the show notes and you'll find a link to the Search Republic, where we build simple Google strategies that actually work. And if we're not already connected, come and say hi to me on the gram at Sonja the Search Queen, and I'd love to hear what landed for you today.